small change to make. I'm going to add an item under consent. It'll be item M, and it reads as follows. The City Council makes a motion to appoint Laura Kittle to the Tree Board for a period of June 12th, 2024 through June 30th, 2026. Council members, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is adopted as amended. Next up, we have approval of minutes. We have two sets in front of us tonight. First up, workshop meeting minutes for May 28th, 2024. Council members, any changes or corrections?
No.
I'll look for motion.
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the workshop meeting minutes are approved. Next up, we have regular meeting minutes from May 28th, 2024. Council members, any changes or corrections? I'll look for motion.
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Any final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the regular meeting minutes are approved as well. Next up on the agenda is public hearings. We don't have any listed tonight, so we will move into open forum. Before we open the floor to anybody that would like to speak, I have one item that I would like to cover, and it is a certificate of recognition for Bill Burns, who is departing as Economic Development Commissioner. Bill Burns has served on the city's on Oakdale's Economic Development Commission since 2010. For the last 3 years, Bill has enthusiastically served as chair of the commission. Throughout his time on the EDC, he served on various subcommittees to review city initiatives and offer recommendations to the city council. Bill has been instrumental in business retention efforts within the city, visiting many businesses over the years and speaking to business owners to get their feedback and perspectives. Bill also serves on the Oakdale Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and helped to provide a strong relationship among the EDC, the city, and the Oakdale Chamber. It is evident that Bill Burns cares deeply about local businesses and the community. On behalf of the City Council, the Economic Development Commission, and our city as a whole, we want to thank Bill Burns for 14 years of dedicated service. Bill was also our city's Volunteer of the Year in 41. There you go. Bill, please join us up front. We have a certificate of appreciation. We want to grab a photo with you. Council members, come on down.
Come on down.
Do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay.
Come on, Bill. Thank you. Finally got seconds, huh?
What was it? Yeah. Good.
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right.
Do you want to say a few words?
God bless America. I'm going to go. I'm going to sell this for ice cream. No, you're not all invited.
We are still under open forum, so if there's anybody that would like to step up to the podium and share anything, any thoughts that they may have, please feel free to do so. All we ask is you begin with your name and address for the record. Our public comment rules limit comments to 3 minutes or so, so please be mindful of the time, but please feel free. Welcome.
My name is Dan Regan. I'm with Launch Properties, here to talk on an agenda item on tonight's agenda. My address is 9485 Whistling Valley Trail in Lake Elmo. Good evening, honorable members of the City Council. I come before you today not only as a representative of Launch Properties, but also as a deeply invested member of this community. For decades, our presence in Oakdale has been more than just about business. It's been about building relationships, creating opportunities, and contributing to the fabric of this city and many others nearby. As a longtime property owner in Oakdale, our commitment to Oakdale has been unwavering. As owners of multiple businesses, we've not only provided jobs for community members, but have also served as a cornerstone for economic growth and development. We've financed countless individuals and businesses believing in the potential of our fellow community members and supporting them in their endeavors. Our involvement in Oakdale has extended far beyond the realm of business. We've actively participated in community initiatives, supported local events, and sponsored causes meaningful to Oakdale residents. Our commitment to enriching the lives of those around us is not just a duty, it's a passion that drives us each and every day. And it's with this deep-rooted connection to Oakdale that I express my opposition to the proposed moratorium on our land use application. Read any of the local trade publications and press. Moratoriums are bad for business. They cause uncertainty in the community, and they make cities look unprofessional for bringing negative headlines upon themselves. This moratorium not only threatens the vested rights of the property owners under the existing PUD agreement, but it also jeopardizes the future of our community-driven projects, including the development of a Les Schwab Tire Center. Furthermore, it's essential to highlight that our application has already been subject to significant delays imposed by the city. Since our initial concept review meetings began back in early 2023, we've encountered nothing but obstacles and maneuvers from the city that have impeded our progress. Despite these challenges, we've remained steadfast in our commitment to this project and to Oakdale. Given this context, I urge each and every one of you to consider what adopting a moratorium now would truly change. We've not wavered, nor do we plan to, and instead of hindering our efforts, let's work together to overcome these challenges and move forward in a manner that respects the rights and investments of all parties involved and create a project the community can be proud of. In closing, I want to reaffirm our commitment to Oakdale and its residents. We're not just here for today, we're here for the long haul. Our roots run deep, and our dedication to enriching the lives of those around us will continue to guide our actions well into the future. Thanks for considering my thoughts and opinions.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak under open forum tonight? Welcome.
Thank you. Greg Brenny, 80 South 8th Street, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55402. I represent Launch Properties. I think you're going to hear from several of us tonight. My perspective here, or my role here, is to provide a little background to you on the proposed development and our perspective on that. Launch Properties is a developer under contract to purchase property that would possibly be subject to this moratorium. It's in the Oakdale Marketplace, 3rd edition. And Launch Properties desires to develop a Les Schwab Tire Center at the site and has agreed to an LOI with Les Schwab. We've been working on this project with the city in good faith since February 2023. We've been working to create a two-building development on the property comprised of a Les Schwab and a bank. We were previously ready to submit in January 2024, but we waited at the encouragement of city staff until a consultant had completed a PUD study. We tried to wait as a good partner with the city. At the end, when the consultant provided its analysis in February 2024, we reapproached the city and listened to in the comments, there was nothing about needing a restaurant or a restaurant being a viable option. In fact, it was the contrary were some of the comments. So we were informed by city staff, despite the analysis from the consultant not really providing much information, city staff, paraphrasing, said, "Council's direction was unanimous in restricting auto-oriented uses and another financial institution from being established on the property. Council wants a multi-tenant building with 1 or 2 fast casual restaurants. That was from the council workshop on March 12, 2024. I'm not sure where there's a right to require 2 restaurants in a multi-tenant building, since the PUD in place since 2005 allows for 1 building with retail uses. There is nothing in that PUD requiring multi-tenant or restaurants. Through follow-up correspondence with city staff trying to clarify what happened, city staff provided that its interpretation of retail includes tire and battery sales. As a result, we abandoned the 2-building development that would require a PUD amendment. Instead, we directed Les Schwab to proceed with a 1-building retail development, which does not need a PUD amendment. It seems like our reward for trying to be a good partner and waiting for the consultant's analysis is now the possibility of a moratorium. I fail to see any purpose in the moratorium other than creating delay and discouraging the current development. The city has no right to unilaterally change the PUD zoning, so once the moratorium is lifted, a tire center can again apply without needing a PUD amendment. I request that you reject the memorandum, or if you implement it, grandfather our development in and exclude our development from it because of the past history and previous submissions for site plan and preliminary plat approvals, which occurred prior to this meeting. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak under open forum tonight? Welcome.
Thank you. Daniel Terwilliger, 13012 June Terrace, Minnetonka, Minnesota. I just have a letter tonight from the current landowner that I was going to pass out to you guys to. I'll read it.
Give it our
You can give it to our city clerk.
So this is written by Michael Elliott, one of the current landowners that we have the contract under purchase with. Dear council members, Oakdale Marketplace, OVA LLC, is the owner of Outlot C, Oakdale Marketplace, and Outlot A, Oakdale Marketplace, 3rd edition. The PUD agreement for Oakdale Marketplace determines allowable uses on our property that provides no change to the city's regulations, comprehensive plans, or official controls shall affect the owner's right. The PUD agreement states that the PUD agreement runs with the land, benefits future owners of the property, and cannot be amended without the parties' consent. We have entered into a purchase agreement to sell a portion of our property for development of a Le Schwab Tire Center consistent with the current PUD agreement, and a site plan and preliminary plat application have been submitted to the city. We are not willing to amend the PUD agreement regarding any of our property. We are opposed to the moratorium, which appears to be an attempt to block or delay the proposed development. The moratorium would conflict with our vested rights under the PUD agreement and may cause financial loss if it affects the pending sale. We ask Oakdale City Council to honor the PUD agreement and not attempt to place a moratorium on the development of our property. Signed, Michael Elliott. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Michael Clem. I'm an attorney with the Helmuth & Johnson firm at 8050 West 78th Street in Edina. Our firm represents Les Schwab Tire Centers, specifically with regard to leasing a part of the land that is legally described as Outlot A of Oakdale Marketplace, 3rd edition. And that is for development and use that is in compliance with the current PUD agreement. It is our position that the city does not have authority to place a moratorium that's applicable to development of that property as a Les Schwab tire store in compliance with the PUD agreement for the following reasons. First of all, the PUD agreement establishes the allowable use. It serves as it determines the zoning for that property, the allowable use there, and it specifically includes retail and service uses which deal directly with a customer for whom the goods or services are furnished. And as you heard earlier, it's been determined by staff that the tire center would fall within that. Secondly, the PUD agreement establishes vested rights. By its own language, it says that no change in city regulations, comprehensive plan, or official controls, which include zoning, such as the PUD agreement, shall affect or restrict the rights of the developer after the effective date of the agreement. Thirdly, the PUD agreement benefits the successors and assigns of the developer and runs with the land. Again, looking at the specific language in that PUD agreement that was signed by the city, it says the terms and provisions hereof shall be binding upon and inure to the benefit of the heirs, representatives, successors, and assigns of the parties hereto, and shall be binding upon all future owners of all or any part of the property, and shall be deemed covenants running with the land. Similar to what you'd see in a contract. Really, it is a contract between the city and the owners. Fourth, the PUD agreement cannot be amended without the owner's consent. The document specifically says in section 16G that any amendments to this agreement must be in writing and signed by both parties. The parties identified are the city and the developer. And the developer is identified as that initial developer, and also then those that are successors and assigns, the future owners. The city's authority is based on a statute in regard to its right to put an interim ordinance or a moratorium in place. And that statute, section 462.355, subdivision 4A, specifies that the purpose of a moratorium is only to protect the planning process and the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. And in this case, the planning process was completed back in 2005. The city and the developer signed the PUD agreement to specify what would be allowed here. So if a moratorium is put in place, even if the city is doing a study to look at from the city's perspective what it might like to change, the planning process has been completed. You've heard that the owner and the developer and tenant for that property are not willing to change that PUD agreement. So the only real purpose for the moratorium on this property would be just to delay or perhaps try to sink the project. Minnesota case law has determined that a moratorium cannot be used specifically to try to delay or prevent a single project. In one of the leading cases, Medical Services, Inc. versus City of Savage, the Minnesota Court of Appeals wrote that a municipality may not arbitrarily enact an interim moratorium ordinance to delay or prevent a single project. And we understand in this case that the city's looking at a moratorium that applies to a lot of different properties in two different PUDs. But with respect to the Les Schwab project, the property owned by the current owner that you heard from through their letter tonight, the moratorium as it applies to that parcel is really just to block this particular project, and only for the purpose of delay, because as you've heard, the owner is not willing to agree to amend that PUD agreement. So really there's no planning process to be protected, and there's no health safety issues to be considered here. So we simply request that the city refrain from attempting to delay or prevent this Les Schwab Tire Center project by adopting a moratorium. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak under open forum tonight? Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move forward with our consensus motions. Council members, we have consensus motions A through M. Reminder, we added that one additional. Are there any that individual council members would like to pull for individual consideration? Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve consensus motions A through M as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second. Final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And A through M are approved as presented. Next up is our opportunity to check in with our advisory boards and commissions. The Economic Development Commission is up first, and they met last week. Councilmember Herr.
Yes, hi. I do want to just, before I get started, apologize. It was a meeting that I had missed. I went back and reviewed the video and the recording of it. I want to first off apologize to my commissioners for that mismanagement of my calendar there. What the commission did talk about, they did some training with our city administrator, just get caught up on how to run a meeting and everything. They also discussed some of the BRIA visits that has happened in the past 6 months here. And they also talked about some zoning code updates that is happening. And then Administrator Volkers also updated the commission on just some other zoning plan updates that we'll be looking at as a council.
Great, thank you, Noah. The only other commission that met was the Planning Commission. Councilmember Ingebrigtsen is their liaison, and he couldn't be with us tonight, so we will carry over his update to our next council meeting. Nothing under award of bids, so we will move into staff reports and check in with community development. We have a couple items there. Hannah, come on down. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I'm presenting the city with the recently awarded certificate that designates Oakdale as a bronze community in the Charging Smart program. This designation program prepares and recognizes communities for electric vehicle readiness. Actions that Oakdale has taken to earn this bronze designation include, but are not limited to, adopting an ordinance that incorporates requirements for EV charging infrastructure, completing the EV-ready community study, hosting EV owners at a Touch a Truck event, and conducting an analysis to better understand opportunities to incorporate EVs into the city's fleet. Oakdale was one of 9 Minnesota communities that were the first in the nation to be designated. Earning this bronze designation is due to the significant amount of work done by past and present city council members, environmental management commissioners, and staff. It's an exciting time to continue making Oakdale an EV-friendly city. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Hannah. Picture.
Yes,
Let's grab a picture.
please.
We'll come on down. We can accept
With
the
staff and
certificate.
council, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Trying to follow you. I wanted to be in the picture.
Told you twice now.
Okay, count to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
You know, on that item, I want to offer the city council's deep appreciation to our staff and our environmental management commissioners as well. Obviously, the emergence of electric vehicles is something that is very exciting for every community. We're trying to figure out how we can provide and support infrastructure in our community to support those drivers that want to have an electric vehicle. There's obviously a lot of funding at the federal level to accommodate this work, and so this is a very good first start for our work in this space, and we're excited to see it keep going. So a big thank you to our staff and to the EMC commissioners who have been advocates for this work for a very long time. Time to flip over my agenda. We have another item under community development tonight, an interim moratorium for land use applications. And I believe our community development director, Andrew Gitzlov, is going to tackle this one. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members. Yes, the item is for a moratorium for land use applications in Oakdale Marketplace and Oakdale Station Plan Unit Development. A little bit of background here. There has been some renewed development interest in both of these PUDs. Therefore, the city initiated a study back in December of 2023 to further look at what potential uses and things would be good fits within this area as it develops. The study area was bounded to the north by 34th Street, to the east by Ideal Avenue, to the south by Union Pacific Railroad, and the west by 694. Staff worked with a consultant, WSB, to prepare the study and develop recommendations for potential changes to both PUDs. The project team discussed the study with City Council at a workshop on March 12th and obtained informal direction on next steps. City staff is working on finalizing the PUD ordinance amendments, which will be brought forward to the Planning Commission and City Council for consideration in the coming months. Several developers have indicated interest in this area, including one that has submitted a formal land use application since the drafting of this memo. Additional time is needed, however, for the city to process the PUD amendments that are recommended from the study. Enacting a moratorium for all land use applications, subdivision, and zoning requests located on the properties within the two PUDs would allow the city staff sufficient time to make the city efficient time to make informed decisions on the PUD developments and better guide developers in the area. We are requesting that this moratorium be for up to 6 months. The city council could lift that at an earlier date if the study is concluded before that period. And this wouldn't affect any internal improvements to any tenants or building permits as long as there is an expansion of existing use out there. The two actions requested are that the city council waive reading and adopt ordinance 926, an interim ordinance establishing a moratorium on development in Oakdale Marketplace and Oakdale Station Plan Unit Development, and that the city council waive reading and adopt resolution 2024-48, authorizing publication of ordinance number 926 by title and summary. So both the interim ordinance and the resolution were drafted in consultation with our city attorney, Jim Thompson. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Council members, any questions for Mr. Getzloff? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion.
I will make a motion to waive reading and adopt ordinance number 926, an interim ordinance establishing a moratorium on development in the Oakdale Marketplace and Oakdale Station Planned Unit developments.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Final comments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
And that ordinance is adopted 3-1. We have another recommendation regarding publication by title and summary. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to waive reading and adopt resolution 2024-48, authorizing publication of ordinance number 926 by title and summary.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Final comments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then opposed? And that passes unanimously, not as well, unanimously. Andy, anything else?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Now's our opportunity to check in with our city attorney, Jim Thompson. Jim, welcome. Anything for us?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, nothing specific to report, but happy to answer any questions.
Council members, any questions for Jim? All right, let's turn the other way and check in with our city administrator, Chris Volkers.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I do have one item. There's been a donation to the city in the amount of $100 for EMS services that the city provided to a resident. So a resident, not the resident that received that services, but a resident submitted a donation for $100 for the continuing operation of EMS services. So I'd like to ask for a motion to approve that per your agenda.
Council members, any questions for Chris? All right, I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to waive reading and adopt resolution 2024-50, accepting the donation from Mark Voltman in the amount of $100.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Final comments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody? All right, and that resolution is adopted. Anything else, Chris?
No, thank you.
All right, let's check in on council presentations. Anybody want to go first?
Nothing for me.
Nothing? No?
I'm sure you'll touch on Summerfest, right?
I got
All right,
Summerfest here,
good.
yes. So I have a few items. First, a reminder, city offices will be closed on Wednesday, June 19th. It's a little bit out, but we don't have a council meeting before then, so we're covering it now in observance of the Juneteenth holiday. So as always, emergency services are available. Staff will be back on Thursday, the 20th, if you need anything else. Please feel free to stop by the Oakdale Farmers Market this Wednesday, June 12th, from 2 to 6 p.m. in the City Hall parking lot to shop from dozens of local vendors. City staff will also be on site with food scrap pickup program information and trial kits. The Farmers Market will be held every Wednesday through mid-October with the exception of June 19th because of the Juneteenth holiday. I mentioned the food scraps pickup program. This is a very cool program through Washington and Ramsey County. that you can just get these dedicated bags, put your food scraps in there, and it goes into your trash bin with your regular weekly trash pickup. And there will be little trial kits out there that you can pick one up for free if you want to just try it out and see if it works in your kitchen. So feel free to stop on by down at the farmer's market. Every summer, the city recognizes eye-catching properties with the Oakdale Acorn Award. We are asking residents to nominate properties. You can nominate as many as you like by June 30th. Nominations can be made through the city website, oakdalemn.gov, and there are 3 categories to the award: business, commercial, public, and residential. So if you have seen some blooming and blossoming beautiful gardens in your neighborhood or on your drive to work or as you're walking to one of our city parks, please visit our website and nominate them. They deserve to be recognized for all of the hard work it takes in keeping those gardens up. Hard to believe, but Oakdale Summerfest is just 2 weeks away. So please mark your calendars for June 24th through the 29th. There are a ton of events associated with Oakdale Summerfest. I'll just rattle some off. On June 24th, the Monday, we have the Oakdale Area Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament taking place down over at Oak Marsh Golf Course. The Summerfest Medallion Hunt also kicks off right at 8 a.m. on the 24th, so if you are interested in that, keep an eye on the Summerfest Committee's social media, the city's social media. You can visit oakdalesummerfest.com. The clues are posted daily on there. You got lots of options. Thursday is the Ted Birth Grand Parade, starting at 6 o'clock. I'm looking at Julie and Lori. I think it's 6 o'clock, yes. And we just march it right down 15th Street, ending here at City Hall, turning the corner down Hadley. It is a lot of fun. It's going to be a beautiful night. We know it's going to be a beautiful night and with perfect weather, and it's not going to be too hot. We know this. We ordered the weather. But a lot of fun. A lot of community groups take part in the parade. City Council will be out there, police, fire, our friends at the Washington County Sheriff's Office always take part. Come on out, get lots of candy. It's a good time. We have live music at the Walton Bandshell Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. 3 great acts, 2 returning from last year, Free and Easy and Buffalo Alice. We are also welcoming Mojo Monks this year. They are, I think they're Thursday, right?
yeah.
So we're gonna have lots of great music. New this year is a great lineup of kids programming. The Summerfest Committee spent a lot of time and effort into planning a lot of programs for our little kiddos. Everything from a petting zoo to bouncy houses, kids bands. The fire department and the recreation department are co-hosting a pop-up splash pad. There will be so many kids activities going on Friday and Saturday, so please come on out. Saturday is also the Nature Preserve 5K. I think registration, Julie, I'm looking at you, registration's still open for a few more days. So if you want to register to participate in the 5K, visit oakdalefun.com. You can get registered there. And then it all caps off with our 50th anniversary fireworks spectacular over Walton Park. So come on down, I think right around 10 o'clock, a little bit after that. We're gonna be lighting up the sky and hopefully setting off some car alarms with some loud booms from the fireworks. Always a good time. We're gonna be celebrating Oakdale's birthday. Come on down. Oh, and the community picnic's on Friday, forgot that. So you can get all these details on oakdalesummerfest.com. There's a lot going on. Finally, we had a groundbreaking yesterday at the Forefront retail property. You may know this as the old Designation campus, located on 34th Street and 694. The groundbreaking was for 2 very excited businesses coming in. Aldi will be opening a grocery store here in Oakdale, as well as a Starbucks. They are expected to open in early 2025. We are very excited to welcome them both. And since Aldi is a German company, we'll say Willkommen. That's all I got. Let's pay some bills. Council members, we have a claims roster in front of us, May 29th, 2024 through June 11th, 2024, in the amount of $1.68 million and change. Was there anything on the claims roster council members wanted to pull off and work with staff on? All right. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve claims as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the bills are paid for another 2 weeks. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you and good night.